right.
Yeah.
What's up, and welcome back to another episode of the Agents of Chaos podcast. I'm your host, Scott Anderson. I'm here with my co-host, my brother, Brandon Anderson. Sir, how you doing? I'm loving that shirt, man. To take gains. That's like was that the living single joint? Wasn't it like that? Huh? Martin. That's right, the Martin.
Yeah.
I'm liking that. You coming with some fire with them shirts there, bro. You know, I need a couple links. I get my hands on them things, bro.
Hey, man, listen. That's my thing. Like some people like cocaine and crack. That's not me. Some people like
that was okay. Like I was
some people. Hey, some people thrill seekers, bro. Some people thrill seekers. They like jumping out of planes. Some people like to do a lot of stuff. Whatever. I mean, listen. I like to travel. That's one thing. But I love t-shirts. I love socks, man, and shoes. I got for a dude, and I got
sneakerhead. You a sneakerhead, bro?
I got like 40 pairs of shoes. So I want to clarify this because I'm not trying to be to contend with the true sneakerheads. Let me clarify my sneakerheadism if I can. So
sneakerheaded, yes.
So I like sneaks, right? But I also like deals, and I'm also willing to try lots of stuff. So I'll buy like legit shoes off of Nike or whatever, Fila. I wear everything. So I got Jordans, I got the Grant Hills, I got Iversons because I love Iverson. And then like for a minute, I was on like that DH gate. And sometimes you get real shoes, sometimes you get like the knockoff joints. And the knockoff ones I used a lot for my painting because I do shoe painting. So I do custom shoe painting. I'm like, look, I don't care if it's a knockoff of this or whatever, if I'm gonna paint the joint up, you know what I mean? I would rather do that than something and then recently I bought some shoes off of Temu. They back here. And they had like a fake kind of like jump man on it. And I was like, me and Peyton, my daughter, me and Peyton always joke. We like, Jordan ain't do that. Like, it's like a pose. That
you know what I'm saying? Doing the behind the backboard. Yeah. You know? He's doing the easy way on the motherfucking sneaker.
Right.
You know?
like, Jordan ain't never do it, has he? Like what? Like, but I'm just being one with y'all. But they are so comfortable. They are super comfortable. Like I said, I'm not out here trying to promote these joints like they like the fake, like the shoes you get off Temu and all that stuff. What I'm realizing now is that the same people that make the shoes that you buy that's $200 and something, and them same factories, they making these knockoff joints too.
For sure.
It's just, hey, what do you want? And sometimes, like I said, I got some classic Jordans, some, whatever, and then I got some other shoes that's not no brands, like no names. So
when it comes to the shoes, like I've been watching like these young cats get into it. Like I've watched some of like the StockX, the one chick, I don't know her name, but she put her hand in the shoe and she could feel all around it and all that stuff. I can't see myself spending more than maybe $200 max on a pair of sneakers.
Right.
Like if you get me in my face, how much? These joints is fire, bro. How much is them? You say $1,500? I need to know what dental plan you got because I'm knocking your front out. I'm not paying $1,500 for a pair of shoes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not in the face and tell me $1,500 for a pair of shoes. Nah, fam, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm gonna get your frontals realigned, but I do understand like the big fetish that's going on, but not fetish, but the big trend that's going on with, because you get different colors and different styles and things like that. But back in the had to match the fit. You know what I'm saying? Had to match the fitted. If you rock the fitted, match the do-rag. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it all had to correlate, like coordinate, as Pop would say. Coordinate. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta coordinate.
This is off the wall type stuff. Like the same sneaks that I feel like these cats is paying big dollars for, I'm like, fam, you could really get them off the back of the truck. You know what I'm saying? For like
facts.
The only shoe I see myself paying heavy money for, honestly, is the those Back to the Future joints. The Marty McFly. Bam.
Yeah, I seen those.
I ain't gonna hold you. I would really pay some coin for them sneaks. Like for real.
Yes. Listen, I'm with you on that. So like I saw these sneaks on Instagram and they was like, these was like custom. So I appreciate custom shoes more so now than I do before. Right. They was like 400 and something, but they was some waffle cone ice cream Jordan Air Force Ones. Now, dog. Now I ain't gonna first. Like now they was cold, man. I sent them to my daughter because we both sneakerheads. I seen them. I'm just like, ooh, those is cold. I said, see, I would drop $450 for those because won't nobody really have those. Right. Won't nobody really have them. And then I'll find some shoes. I'll find some shoes that's online going out of business, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go grab some of them. They $25, and I'm gonna wear those to the gym. So that's what I find. And then people be like, yo, where you get them at? I'm like, oh, I just got these off. They was $20.
And that's the part because like we come from an era of where back in the day with us, we would never rock the same shoe that somebody else got. Because that's like jockey style, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so if I come out with a fresh pair of like Reeboks, you know what I'm saying? Reebok classics with the bubblegum sole, and then a week later you got the same joints. I'm like, yo, come on, why you jocking me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me, like, that's why it's always like, yo, I want something a little different than what everybody else got. But you know, we could talk about sneaks for hours. But let's transition over. And get to the hoop court. We had a debut from a certain young individual.
Yes, we did.
I'm gonna say Victor because if I say his last name, I'm gonna destroy it. Right?
Wimbayana.
Wimbayana. There we go. We had his debut. He had 2 games and then was shut down by San Antonio. Now, in the previous episode, we had, again, when he says it, he means it. We called it shit. We call it.
You called it. You said it.
Grits. He needed to go to somebody mama house down south and put some weight on. He got beat up his very first game. He admitted he didn't doing. He's still learning. Granted, I'll give you that. Tap on his head. Murdering this kid. Oh, he can't. After 1 game, mind you, came from overseas, super tall kid, expecting a lot from him, not a lot of weight on him. Has a bad game, they're crucifying him. His next game, though, out, raises some more eyebrows because he goes out and actually performs. He has much, much better numbers. Like, yo, we already got our superstar set in stone. We see what he can do, even with the criticism and everything going on.
So you, my bad, you froze for a minute when you was talking about that.
Sorry.
But no, you're good. But what I was gonna say too, to jump off the sneaker thing, Kyrie just signed a shoe deal with some company called Anon. Don't know who they are. Here again, this is why we were talking about the shoes earlier. Right. Why it don't really matter, bro. Just set a trend. And sometimes you might see some stuff. People, to me, the days, and I never was this guy, the days when you buying stuff so everybody can be like, oh, look, he got Balenciaga on, he got this on. Well, I didn't mess with Balenciaga, but it's a whole nother story. But like, never. Yeah, and all that stuff. I'm past those days. But to the like you said, to the court, I think Wimby, that's the nickname everybody call him short, Wimby. So I think with Wimbyana, it's gonna be a couple things. You called it though. I'm not taking no credit. You called it. You said my man need to put weight on it. And that's the truth, because here's the thing. We was talking about it before. There's been a lot of tall guys, 7'6", 7. It's not an anomaly. His ability is an anomaly, but how he transitions, he's like a guard that's 7'5" right now. That's what he plays like. He's a guard that's 7'5". So being that he's a guard that's 7'5", he's gonna have skill. I get it. I just think that we need to give these guys some time. Like we gave Luka time to get good, to really get good. It wasn't like he came in dominating. Dirk Nowitzki, it took years. Like if you look back at when those guys first came into the league, Giannis, they wasn't coming in dominating. But their work ethic, let Wemby get a few years in the league.
Facts.
Get some good trainers, get a good offseason. Get the speed of the game and the contact and all of that stuff. I think he'll be fine. I just think that people need to pump the brakes on trying to, at this point, another LeBron, another Kobe, another Jordan, whatever. I think we need to just, those guys are once in a lifetime generational players. Now, don't get it twisted. There's a bunch of guys that have generational talent.
Right.
But they don't become generational guys. They don't all turn into that. But there's a bunch of people that have generational talent. We can run through a list of guys that had skills when they came out. People that people forget about that were really good back in the day. But
can we real quick? I wish that, and I want them to do this in all sports, right? Can we take the pedal away before we genuinely see what these kids have to offer?
Yeah.
Right. Let's take the pedal away. Like those Kevin Garnett's, those Kobe Bryant's, those LeBron James, again, those are rare athletes. And you see that at a younger age, right? You truly see that. We haven't seen that from a super tall guy, but we always put this pedestal of, oh, this is great. Yeah, I mean, the next, this, we don't know that, right? Yeah. So let's take that pedestal away and let's allow development. Let's stop making it seem like they have to come out in their first 2, 3 to 4 games. Hell, their first year and be this ultimate dominant player. You're not going to get that because we don't know how long it took for them to develop in other situations. So I hope that the media and those people involved stop trying to make it seem like these guys are going to come out of the wrapper and be, the best thing that ever happened to whatever sport they play. And I say that because I bring her up, Naomi Osaka, the tennis player.
Yep.
Oh, she's the next Venus. She's going to be the next. As great as she was, she couldn't handle the pressure. There was a lot of pressure. So outside of being physically, able, being mentally able is way more important. And when we see the physical things, we're like, oh yeah, absolutely, they're going to be this, but we don't take in that mental aspect, that mental toughness. Right, that's what we talked about with Zion. Like I feel Zion's thing is mental. It's not necessarily the physical aspect of it. So I hope we can just start doing that and take this pedestal away from these kids at this moment and let them develop before we start to say that they aren't what they could possibly become.
Well, as much as that sounds nice, it ain't gonna happen. The reason why it won't happen is because people want to say that they called the next best thing. They want to be the first person to say, I told y'all I knew what I was talking about, because then they can get on TV shows, they can get more, writers credit or credit for calling this out. They become the Mel Kiper and the Todd McShays of their era, calling talent. That's what people do. Because here's the thing, the risk is never for the person that's saying it. It's always on the player that you're imposing this on. So the pressure, like you said, the pressure will create the truth. And that's why I just, like, we highlight so many people that have played well under the circumstances and under the microscope of greatness. Like when you have, expectations meet reality. When you're expected to, how many expectations do we put on people? Time and time again. Let's not even talk about the LeBron pressure that he had when he first came out. Let's talk about the pressure for guys that did not perform. Let's talk about the Greg Odens of the world. Okay? Remember Greg Oden came out, everybody's like, oh my God, he's gonna be unstoppable. Bad knees, couldn't do it. The microfracture surgery that they didn't know anything about destroyed his career. You got guys like
the one from the Wizards. Kwame Brown, the boy from the Wizards. Right. Correct.
Kwame Brown. Guys like that. And I'm not, and see, let's get it in perspective. When we're saying, oh, this guy's trash. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that like, I could play in the NBA and I could be the person doing that. I'm saying we're just going off of standards by what that league has expected from that person. And so many guys have failed trying to get to the league. You remember when you was in high school, we was in high school together. Lester Earl.
Yeah.
Remember him?
Yeah.
Lester Earl. Shea Cotton.
Damn. Harold Miner. Baby Jordan. They was calling him Baby Jordan.
And his claim to fame is dunk contests. That's it.
Absolutely.
Great dunk contest.
Yeah. You brought up Shea Cotton, man. Shea Cotton was big, and it's so funny. When you bring up Shea Cotton, you see the first people that come to mind, and it's crazy. It's not Corey. It's the Slaughter brothers.
Yes.
Bam.
If people don't know this,
like those fam,
the ones in the IE know. People in the IE know, but people that don't know, if y'all don't know, we're talking about a class where Scott and I went to high school with Corey Benjamin. Corey Benjamin was a McDonald's All-American the same year that Kobe Bryant was, the same year that Lester Earl was, the guy we talk about, Nate James that played at Duke. But before Corey from our school, Jamal Slaughter was the guy.
Jamal and Dwight.
Yeah, him and Dwight. Tragic story for Jamal. You know, he was murdered. And
yeah.
But those types of situations is what we're talking about. Like these guys were cut from that same cloth. And some perform and turn into great stars, and some don't. Go back and look at McDonald's All-American games. Right. My brother, Mark, he was a McDonald's All-American. You know who else was there? Herbert Ellison, Reggie Miller, Pooh Richardson, Hank Gathers, all those guys.
Pooh Richardson. Yeah.
Right. Pooh. Like, we knew Pooh. Pooh was at the house.
Pooh Richardson was cold, bro. Oh, man.
We say all that to say that pressure is huge, and for Wemby, I just hope that he can withstand it and cut out the noise, man. If anything Absolutely. That you can learn from a person like LeBron is cut the noise out, because believe it or not, Michael Jordan had an opportunity to grow. They wasn't counting on him to win championships. Kobe had a chance to grow. They wasn't counting on Kobe to win championships. They already had Shaq. Shaq had already been to the finals with the Orlando Magic with Penny Hardaway. The Lakers already had a lineage of winning championships. So there wasn't the pressure like that. So, it's a thing where you gotta wait, and the guys that learn and they know they'll win. They'll wait.
So,
but go ahead.
That being out there, so it's always going to be young NBA stars, young stars that come over into the league that we're going to have our eyes on. We're always going to have something to say. He's going to be the next. He's going to be the next. He's going to be this guy. He's going to be that guy. There's another guy that we had talked about. You had mentioned Max Christie.
Yeah.
Max Christie. Seen my man do a dunk recently. He cocked it back to the ancestors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And hard. Now, I just saw that clip, mind you. I didn't really see and watch a whole lot. I watched a few games, not a bunch. But from what you've said about this kid, and I think he's with LA, correct?
He's on Lakers, yeah.
On Lakers, right? And he could be a big reason why LeBron went to the ESPYs and said, that's not going to be that day. You know? A big reason of that. What do you think about just from what you see, from his talent, his skill set, mindset, all that good stuff? Do you think this is going to be a solid piece for the Lakers and for the future to come?
Yeah, well, I do, and I'll talk a little bit about it, but I want to shout out you too, because you texted me and was like, bro, you watching these summer league games? And I was like, nah, not really. And then I started peeping them out. I'm like, oh, okay. You know what?
Yeah.
The NBA Summer League is nice. I mean, it's nice. You get to see a lot of good players. It's just a great thing to watch. It's a lot of fun.
Right.
Max Christie is Doug Christie's son. So, yeah, I don't know how many people know that. I don't know you. That's Doug Christie's son. Yeah, you remember Doug Christie? You remember Doug Christie? That's his son. And he, you know what I see from him is a lot of what he got a lot of Kobe in. He got a lot of Kobe. They was talking about how he looked like Kobe. It's so funny. They was like, man, he kind of got a Kobe resemblance. Stop it. Don't you do that. I already know where your head went. Yo, don't do that. No. So I think what I seen from him, especially in this summer league, this is another cat. I don't know what his name is, but he's from OKC. He's number 23 from OKC. He bad. Check him out. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. Forgive me. I didn't even check it. I was gonna look him up, but I'll look him up while I'm talking. But he's Max. What I like about Max is that he shuts out the noise.
Albertman,
huh?
Deshaun.
I think that's his name. He light skin, got braids.
Light skin got the kind of like braids going on. Trayman is what they call him. Guard.
Yeah. Him. Go look at some of his clips. He got his handles and his change of direction is nuts. He be putting boys on skates. He's a good player, man. So I'm interested to see how this translates to the NBA. But that's the thing I was going to say. When I looked at Max Christie's game, his game translates to the NBA well. See, a lot of those summer league guys, they play well. They got a lot of one-on-one in them. They can score. They can hit buckets. But what I look at is situational scoring. How do you score out of a play? Do you hit open shots when they're given to you? You know, your release point, all those things. And Max got a nice game. His game, to me, would fit really well with the new pieces that the Lakers got. I feel like he could be a guy that could come off the bench and score. He was on this practice. I think he was on the squad last year, but he just didn't get no run. I mean, I understand why. They had a bunch of guys. They had Schroeder. They had Schroeder. They had D. Russ. And they had a bunch of guys coming off the bench that was getting time. Breeze wasn't starting yet. And they asked him. It was funny because the Lakers was 2-0. I don't know if they won this last game, but they were 2-0 before this last night's game. And they asked him. They was chanting MVP of the summer league for Max Christie. They was chanting MVP in the game in the stands, and he was like, "How you feel?" He was like, "I feel like Austin Reeves last year." That I feel like Austin Reeves. So if y'all get the chance, man, check out some of them NBA summer league games just to put them on, just to watch, to see some guys. Some dudes flash. There's some guys that flash, and hopefully they'll get a chance to go to those respective teams and get some run.
Yeah, I watched a few of those games. I actually was watching one in the gym. It was the Brooklyn Nets. They were playing. The only thing, one of the big takeaways I had, it goes back to what we had talked about before about Steph Curry and that 3-pointer. It's like, guys, stop. All you guys are not arc shooters. You know what I mean? Like, drive the lane, paint, establish yourself, establish the game, let the game come to you. A lot of these cats is shooting from the delta sign. It's like, no, stop. Don't do that.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary. Like, let's see you play the game of basketball before you start launching these 3 balls all over the place. But But yeah, man, I like watching these young guys play, man. They're bringing a lot of energy. They're bringing a lot of intensity. And we're definitely going to find, and I know it's easy to say, but we're going to find a few diamonds, man. Some serious diamonds in this young NBA group that's coming out.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think so. I think it'll be nice to see. I'm interested to see. It actually kind of makes me a little excited to see the NBA, but it's the summer league, and next on the docket is the NFL preseason. So
listen.
59 days, bro. 59 days.
Man, that's all I am focused on, and I'm pissed that it cut down to only 3 games.
Yeah.
I'm pissed they only cut down to 3 games. I'm so excited for the NFL right now. Just all across the board, I'm excited for the NFL. Like, I can't wait to see what's about to transpire, because you got the storylines. This team's going to do this. This team's going to do that. This team's not going to do this. This team's not going to do that. And it's like, it never plays out that way. It
Right.
never does.
It's
Like,
true.
never does.
Hardly ever, man. Hardly ever.
I wait till week 6. You get these pieces, you get these parts, and you think, oh, this is gonna work great together. You're like, that didn't turn out the way we thought. And you get parts, and you're like, I don't know. It's like, whoa, I didn't see that happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it comes from pieces from the off season and the work that they do together to build themselves. So this season, I'm super excited for, regardless of how it plays out for any team in the NFL. I'm just excited to watch
the
season. A lot of the old dogs are gone, right? A lot of old dogs are gone. They're retired. They're out. When you look at all these quarterbacks, I mean, besides maybe what Kirk Cousins, I mean, we don't have any quarterback that's 30, really.
Kirk
that's
Cousins.
Like 30 years old. But Jared Goff is what, 28, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to get out.
I can't stand Kirk Cousins,
bro. But all the quarterbacks are young, right?
A lot of them are. Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford.
Right.
He's still an old head. I think Matt Ryan retired. He did officially retire.
Brett Favre retired. Drew Brees. You know what I mean? I'm looking for current.
I think
you got 39. You got Joe Flacco was 38, and that's still technical, but it's old for the NFL.
Yeah,
you know
Joe Flacco don't play anyway. He ain't playing.
So we got a lot of young pups. You know what I mean? And I'm excited to see those go out.
Right. There's only a few. Like if you I'm just gonna run I'm thinking I go by divisions, and I'll just think about the divisions and the quarterbacks. Like you said, AFC East, Aaron Rodgers is the oldest. The other three, there's nobody, yeah, they don't even know. You go to AFC North, you got Lamar, Joe Burrow, and Deshaun Watson, and then the young boy Kenny Pickett. So no old heads there. AFC West, no real old heads. Everybody's Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but even though, he's the oldest one, correct?
He's an old head in that regard. Russell Wilson's an old head in that regard. You go to the South, everybody's young in the South. Everybody AFC South, everybody's young. Jaguars, Houston. Houston got a brand new pick. Indy got a brand new pick. Titans, Ryan Tannehill. And then
and you got the other Bulls. So young guy.
You go out to the NFC. You go NFC West. What do we got? NFC West, young boys. Everybody's young.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy, Trey Lance, Geno Smith. Geno Smith. Geno Smith's an old head, I guess. Geno Smith's an old head. St. Louis? I already mentioned Matt Stafford. I mean, the Rams. I already mentioned Matt Stafford.
And Baker. Yeah.
So we got that's everybody in the South. Then let's say what's the South?
Yeah, in the North you got NFC North. You got
you got Justin Fields golf. Yeah, you got Jordan Love.
The oldest, I think, Kirk.
It's Kurt. Yeah. NFC East, all young boys. Dak's the oldest.
Yeah. What about the Washington? Don't watch that quarterback.
Taylor Heineke. That's who they got. They don't have a legit like.
Okay.
Heineke, Hurts, Jones, and Prescott.
Yeah.
And the NFC South is Desmond Ridder. They just drafted C.J. Stroud for the Panthers. Then you got who else is Tampa Bay. They got Baker Mayfield right now. They got Baker Mayfield right now, and then the Saints. The Saints, got young QBs. The young QBs down there. Who the Saints just pick up? They got Derek Carr. Yeah,
they got Derek. The Saints. Again, that's one of my dark horse squads of the Saints. I think they're going to be a problem in the NFC. Unknown monster. Yeah. I just feel it. I think they're going to be unknown. So you heard it here first on the A-Guys podcast. NFC South, be alert. The Saints are going to be a problem this year. They're going to be a monster this year. Because again, I always have a good feeling about quarterbacks, young quarterbacks that get fresh opportunity in other squads. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
the Saints got the framework. The Saints got the framework. They just haven't had consistency. That's the only problem. They haven't had consistency, but they got the framework. So yeah, I'm interested to see. I mean, you know, speaking of that, for that segue, even though there's not a lot of quarterbacks that are big name free agents, just a couple big name free agents that's still available right now is you got DeAndre Hopkins still available. He wants to go to Buffalo. He wants to go to Buffalo. They're really talking big on him going to Buffalo. Dalvin Cook really wants to go to Miami, wants to go to the Miami Dolphins. And just on the defensive side, just a couple names, not big names, but just people that can make an impact. Jadeveon Clowney, still a free agent. Jadeveon Clowney, I think I think if he get into the right kind of system, he could be an edge rusher, a spot edge rusher.
I think we saw all we needed to see from Jadeveon Clowney. Yeah. I think from these young boys that are coming in now, there's nothing more that he could show that will make somebody want to spend money on him. I think that he was always that one hit that he had against him to where he was, and then he never really showed consistently. Because he got drafted, if I'm not mistaken, he got drafted before Khalil Mack. I think Khalil Mack was a way better defensive end linebacker than he ever did. Like, you feel me? Like, so I don't
you know what he reminds me of? Football
I just don't see it.
You know, he reminds me of a poor man's Javon Curse. Because Javon Curse, when he came,
he was
screaming off that edge when he was playing for the Titans. And he played for Philly for a couple of years. But that's who Jadeveon Clowney kind of reminds me of. In his first couple years in Houston, he missed out on his opportunity to be great because he was with J.J. Watt.
Well, so that was the thing. That was the thing they said about players that came from South Carolina. I don't know if you remember, because also Alshon Jeffery, right? And they said they don't have strong work ethic, right? Yeah. It's the work ethic for those guys. It wasn't that they don't have those flash plays. They'll gave those flash plays, but you only got a year out of that guy. You only got a year out of Alshon. And I told him that. I said, 1 year. Gratefully enough, it was the 1 year y'all won the Super Bowl. He was like the best Alshon he could be. But what happened right after that?
He was peak Alshon. He was peak Alshon.
Got paid, and then he disappeared.
He had his second year that we was in the playoffs, he had a chance. We was about to beat the Saints, and he dropped that pass. And that was another one that was like, then after that, you didn't hear nothing.
Right, and that's the big thing about that year. They said a lot of these kids that come from South Carolina, that year work ethic is just not it. You know what I mean? So that's just for Jadeveon Clowney, like, and stuff like that. So, but there's a lot of free agents out there, and unfortunately, I think a lot of these guys are going to have to wait for injury before they get that.
I don't think Dalvin or DeAndre will have to. True. I think they might. DeAndre gonna get picked up. I'm not even worried about DeAndre. I think a lot of these dudes is holding out until after the preseason. They don't. They don't want to play during the preseason. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. Listen. DeAndre Hopkins is 31. Okay, D-Hop is 31. It's not young. It's not young wide receiver age. D-Hop's 31. Now, Dalvin Cook's 27. On this list I have, he's one of the younger guys. Dalvin Cook's 27, but again, he's injury prone. So, again, you don't want him playing in a game in the preseason. You pay money for him, and he get dinged up and something stupid happen. But I'm going to throw a couple names out there just real quick, a couple other names that I think could good fits. I'm not going to mention this dude's name because I can't stand him because he played on our team a couple times, and I ain't. Ronald Darby, but exactly. Ooh. But Marcus Peters is a free agent. Marcus Peters is a nice pick. Yannick Ngakoue.
Winnie, that's that corner from Baltimore. He's injury
Baltimore,
prone, right?
He kind of, you know what? The thing is with Marcus Peters, he's not. I don't want to say he's injury prone. I'm gonna say that he has had injuries. So when he gets injured, he's done like for the year. But like most of the time, he's legit. Like if he don't get hurt, I'm not saying he don't get hurt. If he get dinged up, he still plays a whole season. He's only gonna miss time if it's like a season-ending something. Like that's what I would say about him. Ndakwe, I mentioned Ndakwe's name. Just some cat, Isaiah Rodgers, and he's all right. But the guys you said, is gonna have to wait for injury. Kareem Hunt, Leonard Fournette, Ezekiel Elliott. They all 28-year-old running backs. 28. And if you've been hurt or your decline is so crazy, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Melvin Gordon said this. His running back used to be playing for the Broncos. They let him go. Melvin Gordon can't hold on to the daggone football. I don't ever want to hear that dude talk about nothing. He fumbles the ball 2-3 times in a game sometimes. He gets the fumbles. But he said running back is the worst position in the NFL to play right now. He said it's trash. That's basically what he said. It's trash. So tell me what you feel about that, like that statement. Is he right or is he wrong? What you think?
He's absolutely right. Because you have dual threat quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need a running back. Now, a halfback or a fullback would have a blast. They get hit people. Most running backs, their job is to avoid contact, right? Mm-hmm. You find yourself a running back, great. But their job is to avoid contact, but also to help set up the passing game. I have a quarterback who can literally do that with the read option. So that's why running backs are not valued. Everybody literally called Justin Fields a running back last year.
They was doing the same thing for Jalen Hurts, bro.
Right. They called him a running back his first year. They called Jalen Hurts a running back. But that's why the running back position is not so coveted when you have these quarterbacks who can run as if they are a running back. Why do I need a David Montgomery back there? Why do I need a Dalvin Cook back there? Well, if you're in Minnesota, you definitely do, because your quarterback's not that guy, right? Not running wise, not that guy.
Right.
But so that's why I can understand these running backs are like, bro, he's taking off running. I could have did that. And you're not going to hit me out on this bubble screen because you're going for 40, 50 yards. And you're not doing that just on first and second down. You're doing it on third, fourth down. Where your running back comes into play, you got a solid third down running back. Why do I need to give the ball to Dalvin Cook if I have a running back like Lamar Jackson who can get me 4 yards in the first down? You know, it's not a necessity. But when you had quarterbacks that were in the pocket, like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, you know what I mean? Brett Favre, so to speak, kind of, your running back was very important because I know you, Tom Brady, you're not going to get me 50 yards.
He gonna get you 2 yards and a quarterback sneak and a touchdown or a first down.
That's right. Which is why coaches like what's his name from the Jets, the fat guy, Ryan.
Buddy, not Buddy. That's the dad. But Rex Ryan.
Rex Ryan, like the ground and pound is gone.
Yeah.
No one does it. You don't have to do that. Now you run read options, spread offense. It's focusing on the receivers. You can barely touch the quarterback. So how can I hit him? You have to let him slide. So yeah, just like unfortunately, just like the fullback and the halfback got phased out. They got phased out. Same thing's going to happen with the running back. It's never going to get phased out completely. You're always going to need a running back, but I don't think the value on running back is going to come back. We're focusing on pocket passers. If you don't have a pocket passing quarterback, do you really need a running back there? Like, yeah, you do, but do I have to spend millions on them? No. I can get one for cheap. You know, I get one for a reasonable price, couple-year deal, and just do your job back there. Right now, if you're anything and you really want to focus on the way these quarterbacks move, you're going to spend money on the defensive side of the ball, on your outside linebackers, your DNs, your middle linebacker, because the way these quarterbacks can move, if those guys can't get sideline to sideline, you're going to get ate up. Case in point, when Colin Kaepernick first made his emergence into the NFL, you didn't have linebackers that could do that, and he ate teams alive. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what Cats are going to focus. They're going to focus heavily on that defensive side of the ball. These DNs are faster, right? These linebackers are faster. These D linemen, I'm talking in the trenches, Jordan Davis, they're faster because of the mobile quarterback. They have to be.
I think, you know what? I'm going to say this too. I'm going to say this, and you make really good points about that. But here's what I would say in response to Melvin Gordon and the running back position being trash. You want to know why it's trash? It's because guys don't work anymore. They don't work hard anymore. So I'm going to give you an example, because here's the thing. Jalen Hurts running, Lamar Jackson running. This isn't new. Josh Allen running. This isn't new. Do I need to bring up names like Michael Vick? Do I need to bring up names like Randall Cunningham, Donovan McNabb? Do I need to bring up names like Steve Young, Fran Tarkenton, guys that was mobile that could run? Listen, I'm gonna even go back to even bummy guys. Quincy Carter was a quarterback that could run back in the day.
Cordell Stewart.
Cordell Stewart. They called him Slash. So this isn't just about the running back position being trash. That's one caveat. That's one piece of it. The other piece of it, paying guys that don't deserve to be paid because the market demands it. That's why I hated what happened with Kirk Cousins, because he got bummy quarterbacks paid. Dalvin Cook gets hurt. That's why he can't. Ezekiel Elliott, what happened when they paid him? He fell completely off the map. What happened to Todd Gurley when they paid him all that money? Completely off the map. Where are the guys that are like Marshall Faulk? Where are the Thurman Thomases of the world? Where are the Curtis Martins of the world? Corey Dillon, Adrian Peterson.
Facts.
Bro, like, even for a time, Steven Jackson, Sean Alexander. Where are those guys at? The guys that would bang your head, and you had to give them the ball. Marshawn Lynch, you had to give those guys the ball because they demanded the ball. This is
why I hate when after 4 years, players put up a little bit of tape and all of a sudden they want a max deal. They die out after they get that money. Man. They die out. Eddie Jackson for Chicago. He got that big bread and disappeared.
The only position that you can't do that is quarterback.
Facts.
That's the only one. That's the only one. When you get paid as a quarterback and you don't do well, they will trade you.
Right.
They'll get rid of you quick. Look at Carson Wentz. The Eagles paid Carson Wentz. And when he mentally, like you said before, the boy mentally couldn't hack it. And what did the Eagles do? Get rid of him. We'll roll with Jalen Hurts. And if Jalen don't work, cool, we'll see what happens. Got rid of the boy. So the quarterback position is the only position where you're watching somebody get paid. And if you don't perform, they still will get rid of you. The other positions is guys where you're just like, oh, well, if the quarterback ain't getting them the ball, or, if the line ain't great.
Right.
Come on, man.
Why when I talk to my athletes, I tell my running backs, I tell my wide receivers, I tell my quarterbacks, listen, that offensive line gets you paid.
Yes.
That offensive line gets you paid. When Dak got his numbers, when Zeke got his numbers, Dallas had the best O-line in the NFL.
Yeah.
The best O-line in the NFL, bro. That's how you got paid. It wasn't your talent. It was like, what is it? Any given Sunday. Oh, I drink my invisible juice and then they can't. No, your invisible juice is that 6'7", 350-pound offensive lineman driving that defensive player into the ground. That's your invisible juice. Yeah. That's where the money. So if I'm a running back and I'm a quarterback, you're like, hey, man, we're going to max your deal. Cool. Take $200 million and spread it out amongst my line.
Man, big facts.
Give it to my line. If I'm a DB,
my boy,
interceptions, I'm like, hey, take that and give it to my defensive line. Because if you're front four, look at Philly's front four last year. They got so much penetration. The corners and the safeties didn't have to do much.
Yeah. And think about it. Who did they lose to? They lost to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. If it was anybody else in that Super Bowl, it would have been a wrap.
And that's what I mean by understanding the team concept of football. It's like, yo, you're good because that front four is only giving that quarterback 2 seconds back there.
Yeah.
But when he throws that ball in the air, oh, great, he didn't read that right because my front four is devastated. So now I got a pick six. Now I got an interception. Now we at 4th and 18 or 4th and 12 because of that front line. It's not because you're not a Deion Sanders, right?
Listen, shout out. This is a shout out to the Kansas City offensive line because as good as the Eagles were, I'm gonna give respect where it's due.
Facts.
The Eagles got no sacks.
None.
They got no sacks that game. They could not get to Patrick Mahomes because they had the best offensive line pass protecting, and we had the best defensive line pass rushing. And my boy, you met my boy Lee. He'll love this segment because we talking about O-line. My boy Lee in college was probably, I ain't never seen an athlete that big, that fast, and he was an offensive lineman.
Facts.
He was on ESPN. He got a shout out on ESPN chasing down a DB off of a pick six. He almost caught him because the O-line dudes now is crazy. You watch their footwork. You watch guys like Kelsey or I can't think of it, Lane Johnson. You watch guys like that, or Tyler Smith. I ain't gonna front Tyler Smith, Tyron Smith when they was good for Dallas. You watch guys like that, man.
For me, the mold breaker for the O-line was Joe Thomas. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Joe Thomas, a monster. Understood. He just understood the game of football on that offensive side so great. Like, they be like, yo, it's just hard to beat this guy. Back to the Kansas City, though, as much respect as I do give to that O-line, I do believe the scheme in which they played, Philly helped them because I said if Philly comes out over-aggressive, that defense comes out over-aggressive, I said all they're going to do is slow play it and just catch them where they're not thinking. Dump the ball right behind them because now you can't rush in. Hassan Reddick, you can't be too anxious off that side. And I called his name. I called his name before the game. The running back, Isaiah, Isaiah something. I said, watch this kid. This is going to be a game changer for this. And he was. He wasn't a super duper, but he was a difference maker. I watched
you had the respect.
Leading up to the Super Bowl, I said, Andy Reid is going to utilize this kid. One, he's fast. Two, he can get behind the defense very fast. And if you just do a couple dink and dunks, 4, 5, that's 10 yards. That's a first down. 3, 8, that's a first down. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to the offensive line for what they did. Philly came back on their offense and did what they were supposed to do as well. But I think if you watch when that Philly defense got beat on those whip routes, just because the corner didn't keep running across or the DB didn't keep running and stop, that happened 3 times we watched it. That happened twice.
We 4 or 5 times.
And it's like, at some point the defensive coordinator got to be like, hey, hey, make the adjustment.
And to that point, just look at the other side. Like you said, look at the other side of the ball. Miles Sanders did absolutely nothing. He did nothing that game. He didn't help at all. And look, man. We could belabor it, but we're talking about the Super Bowl right now. So we got to talk about the best 2 teams at that time. And Jalen Hurts had 350 yards and 4 touchdown passes. Okay, he had more passing touchdowns and more passing yards than Patrick Mahomes. But the boy you just said, Pacheco, was a difference because those whip routes worked. Because you had the threat of that running back getting short yards right in front of you, and they was only going to give you one. And Andy Reid's a genius. Like aside from Belichick, because everybody's going to give Belichick his props. Hassan, I know you love Belichick. Look, shout out to Belichick. I'm not going to take nothing away from the championships that he's won. But if you want to just take Belichick out, you get rid of the Spygate, get rid of the Deflategate, you get rid of all the cheating, the scandals. He had cheating scandals against the Rams when they played them, cheating scandals against the Panthers when they played them. And now we starting to see, look like Tom Brady was the difference in all of this stuff. So you take away all of that, Andy Reid has got to be one of the greatest minds in football. There's no question in my mind. He's one of the greatest minds. He had Patrick Mahomes. Okay, so what? Because Patrick Mahomes ain't winning the Super Bowl without Andy Reid either. So we're saying all that. We're saying all that to say, like you said, man, scheme is important. But I think that when it comes to the running back position, these guys, you got to make yourself more valuable. You got to do more than just ask for the ball. Be a good pass protector. Be a good catcher of the ball out of the backfield. You got to be a threat. When your team doesn't have something, what are you going to bring? Warwick Dunn played with Michael Vick and had 1,200 yards rushing. Michael Vick had 2 receivers. Algie Crumpler and Brian Finneran.
Yep.
That's who he had.
And dog walked the whole NFC South for 3 years.
Bruh. and beat the Packers in Lambeau, which hadn't been done in 20 years.
Right.
So what was you gonna say? My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're perfectly fine. We can put a bow on it after this. Is that when it comes to Andy Reid, name a bum quarterback that he didn't make great. And I'm not going to call Michael Vick a bum, but what Michael Vick said was,
oh yeah,
his words were, if I had a coach like Andy Reid in the beginning of my career, I would have been a different quarterback.
He'd have broke every record.
And he'd have had about 4 or 5 championships.
He'd have broke every record. Tom Brady,
Alex Smith, a problem.
Yes, I know.
Anywhere you put this guy, the quarterbacks always succeed.
Listen.
His knowledge, his mastermind of understanding the game, not only understanding the offense, but understanding what his quarterback can do and putting them in a situation where they can best execute their talent and their skill.
Skiz. The Eagles should have never went to 4 consecutive NFC championship games, 5, because then they actually did go to the Super Bowl with Todd Pinkston and James Thrash. Okay, hold on. Todd Pinkston, James Thrash. Oh, let me just throw Freddie Mitchell in there. Freddie Mitchell.
Oh, and I'm not mistaken, Jason Avant, was he on the squad?
Yeah, but that was later. Okay. I'm talking about when we was going to the NFC Championship. We was going to the NFC Championship games with you and me playing wide receiver. Right. And Chad Lewis. Chad Lewis was the tight end. We went to 5. We went to the Super Bowl because we got Terrell Owens for 1 year. And went to the Super Bowl. Okay. Man. So Andy, if you look at go, we can check the tape. Go look at Alex Smith's last season in Kansas City. Look at Patrick Mahomes' first season in Kansas City. The numbers are eerily identical.
Facts.
Eerily identical. So that we said, we just say all that to say you got to put yourself in the best position. How do you become better? And the running backs, man, y'all can complain all y'all want about the running back position being trash. Be different. Be different.
Be different.
Be different. Okay, Devin Montgomery got traded from the Bears. The Devin Singletary got traded. But what did y'all do different? You got to make yourself where your coach is like, I can't take him out the game.
Right.
I got to give him the ball, not just handing the ball off to him.
Right.
I got to make him different. Barry Sanders was different.
Emmitt
Smith was different.
Yeah. Facts. Assets versus liabilities. You got to make yourself an asset on the team, man. And I mean, with that being said, bro, I mean, let's go. Like
I know you're excited, man.
I'm so excited. We go live for some of these preseason games where we'll have the camera faces and we're going to be talking behind the scenes. If you got, and we're going to go live. Let's do it, man. We're going to go live on a platform. We're going to go live either on Facebook or on Instagram. Yeah, we'll go live. Our shit, and you guys come in and
we'll go live. We're gonna go live. We'll record it. We'll record the sessions like we normally do. But we're gonna put the games on the screen. Hopefully, we'll have to check, make sure we ain't got no broadcasting issues.
All we gotta do is drop the camera down or cut the camera off, whichever one's showing it when commercials come on. Other than that, I watched the whole NBA playoffs on TikTok, fam. Like, so I ain't tripping on that.
Hey, real quick. I want to get some honorable mentions because the ESPYs was last night.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, ESPYs was last night, and they got some of the best male athlete Patrick Mahomes. I think what best NBA player was Nikola Jokic. But I want to shout out some of the other ones that people probably ain't gonna be paying attention to. So best female college athlete, Caitlin Clark, she won that award from the ESPYs. Caitlin Clark got best female athlete. Huh?
He won that without winning the championship?
Well, it's athlete because college for the male, it was Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, he won the quarterback for USC.
Quarterback, right? Yeah, USC quarterback.
He's gonna be a problem when he come out too. But Angel Reese, breakthrough athlete. She won breakthrough athlete. So that's a big shout out to her. And then record breaking performance, they gave that to LeBron. And because he broke the NBA scoring record, that last year, so this year. So shout outs to them for winning those awards. And I'm just, man, it's gonna be so many other things. We gonna keep progressing, man. I'm gonna say this. Thank you for all of y'all that listen to us.
Facts.
That listen to us. I'm gonna give a shout out to all my friends and on Facebook, Instagram, and all y'all. I appreciate y'all. Even if you don't know anything about basketball, football, sports is not your thing. The fact that you get on here and support us and listen to us, it honestly means a great deal to me.
Everything. Everything.
Getting the views that we get is cool. We just having fun. We want to bring knowledge and things like that to everybody. Kind of give our opinion, and just we trying to give y'all water cooler talk. If y'all don't know what that means, it just means when you at your job, everybody's virtual now. But when those conversations come up and y'all want to have a legit conversation, just enjoy sports talk. Sports fans love talking sports. They do. Right. And so even if you don't know about sports, you can bridge the gap in ways like that. And that's all we trying to do, man. It's just a lot of fun for us to do this and continue to grow the show, and I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a great thing.
Yeah, episode what? 12, 13?
It's 12.
Episode 12? I bet a lot of y'all thought we was gonna stop at 8. Wrong.
Hey, listen, I tell you what, we doing work right now. Skip Bayless ain't doing the work right now. He can't find a counterpart.
Hey, yeah. Holla. AOC. AOC.
He can't find a counterpart, bro.
Yeah. He's better off just starting his own little podcast or something and having people come on and just be guest speakers. Like do something in your crib or in your basement, like, you know what I mean? Or get like a little room outside. I mean, again, Skip Bayless is he was great for the sport and
he's
things.
A pioneer, bro. He's a pioneer for this type of debate.
Yeah. But his bias is so glaring that it's like Dallas can do no wrong. Tom Brady can do no wrong. These people can do no wrong. And when he doesn't really like you as an athlete, for whatever the case may be, everything you do is wrong. Nothing you do is right enough. It's like he tries to find everything bad. Anytime LeBron is the topic, I'm like, bro, there's no way. There's no way. Like, you must sit at home and only try to find what you want to find about him not being a great athlete. It's like, so, I mean, at that point, it's like, bro, like, can you be, what's the term? Not just subjective, not biased. What is the term? Oh, shoot. Can't think of it. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, yo, can you be, I can't think of it. Oh my gosh, it's gonna kill me. I'm gonna remember it next time. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, yo, like you can understand, see both sides of it, regardless if you like him or if you don't. You know what I mean? It's not like that. So, but yeah, man. With that being said, man, this is another episode, man. Of the Agents of Chaos.
I got my game shirt on because I'm going to the gym after this.
Oh, for sure. I just got back from the gym, man. I did an hour on the treadmill. Felt great. It really feels great. I got my old Beats died. Rest in peace to the Beats. Got some brand new ones. Got some matte black joints. Some Studio 3. I'm not blurring out anymore. I tried that before. It didn't work out with the Gatorade segment, so I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it today. You know what I'm saying? So I got the over the head joints. Like I got the earpod joints. There's certain workouts I'll do, and it'll fall out my ear. Like, and I just that's why. You know what I mean? Then I put my hoodie on, and if you ever see me in the gym and my hoodie is on, stay away.
See, you trying to intimidate people at the gym. Somebody might want to ask you about your workout, bro.
Don't talk to me. Check out my TikTok page where I put on my workouts. Don't talk to me. If my hoodie is on, Thanos is in the building, and you will snap away from becoming dust. Don't leave me alone. I'm gonna snap my finger. You know what I'm saying?
Don't wake up and choose violence, people. Don't wake up.
They're just different. They're different. Those hoodie workouts, oh my gosh, they just hit different. You just like zone in. You're like this monster.
And here I am trying to not look intimidating because everybody always says you got this intimidating face. You be quiet. You listen, you light skinned, you smile from ear to ear, you got dimples, all this stuff. You gotta do that you gotta wear that stuff to look hard. Me, I be trying to look nice, and they still be like, I'm not gonna talk to him. I'm like, hey man, I'm pretty friendly. Nah, bro, you don't look like it. Like my hair when my hair be growing back and it ain't all the way bald, and then I be having my things on when I be working out, I be having that face, and they just be like, I ain't going over there. I want to approach you.
Bam. And don't let me have a Fight Club shirt on. You better not look at me. I'm going full Tyler Durden on you. Don't look at me. Read the rules. Read the rules of the back.
Read the rules.
Read the rules.
Oh man. I can't with you, bro. I hate your gym. I hate your gym, by the way.
And they got better. I told you they put the mini turf field in there now.
I don't want to hear. When I say I hate his gym because I love his gym. It's stupid.
Man.
The YMCA came up. They done changed the game, bro.
Oh man, for real.
I'm hating.
For real. And I just found they got a sauna downstairs, fam. I didn't know.
Yo, man. Hey, man, shut up, man. Shut up. Are we done? You know, can we pause? Stop the
Oh man, hey man. So we always have fun on here, man. And we love you guys. And thank y'all for supporting us and tuning in, man. Signing off for the Ages of Chaos. I am Scott Anderson. This is my brother Brandon Anderson. Man, hey, yo, we gonna holler at y'all next week for real.
Yeah, for real. We'll get with y'all.